5 strategies to create unbeatable offers, products and services that delights the market. That's what we are going to cover in this video. And so before we dive deep into it, I want to highlight the fact that these are not things you use on a regular basis or something that you use anyhow that you want. So strategies are supposed to be used in different cases, in specific cases. So basically, you want to know, okay, is this the right strategy to apply in this very situation? So when you're applying these strategies or when you're working on these strategies, know that they are applied to they're supposed to be applied on need basis, which means they work when applied in a proper context. Some of them are laws, but others are rules, which means they can be adapted to situations accordingly. Strategy number 1: hustle premium. What is hustle premium? So a hustle, it refers to any task, project, or process that is time consuming, complicated, frustrating, or requires significant effort to manage or complete. It's something that people perceive as burdensome, stressful, or inconvenient, often because it takes up their time, energy, or requires expertise they don't have. When faced with a hassle, people are generally willing to pay for a solution that makes the process easier, faster, or less stressful. So, when you are creating a business, when you're building a business, let's say you've been on the block for a while, but now you started seeing that the product is not picking up, people are no longer interested in the service, and you start wondering, what is it happening? Maybe apply the hustle premium. Go back and check if you are really removing a hassle in people's lives. You're removing the actual problem, because most products exist, but they violate this rule of hassle premium. You have to remove a hassle out of someone's process. Let's say accounting, managing financial records, legal documentation, drafting contracts. Sometimes it's a headache. Customer support, handling inquiries, complaints, and technical support issues. Marketing strategies, developing and executing comprehensive marketing plans, creating content, recruitment, finding, screening, and hiring the right talent for the team. All of these are hustles. Okay, so these are hustles that you can remove in someone's life. So if your business is not removing a hustle out of someone's life, that business is not going to thrive. And when you use this as a strategy, what you do, you go back to your customer profile and say, what is a list of hassles that my customers are facing right now that I can remove in their lives and make their lives easier. That applies in sales process automation, product testing, and feedback. In any industry, there are always hassles. So you can remove that out of someone's life and you make money. When you think about companies, when you think about restaurants, they remove the hassle of cooking. When you think about transportation, we don't need to walk anymore. So a business should be, the purpose of a business is to make someone's area of life easy. If your business is not providing some form of easiness to people, then that business is not going to thrive, because it's not performing to the purpose it should be assessed to. Very important. Number 2: perceived value. Like I said, these strategies, they work as rules and laws, but also as strategies, because you can say, okay, my business is not performing well, let me use the hustle premium strategy to come up with something to ease the pain of my customers. All right. Now, number 2 is perceived value. When people don't trade money for things people don't trade money for things they value, their money. People don't trade money for things when they value their money more highly than they value the things. This is a quote by Ron H. Williams. He's the Wizard of Art, expert in art. And he realized that people spend money on things they believe are more valuable than the money. When you're about to buy something, a phone, a laptop, in your mind, subconsciously, what you're thinking is, my $1,000 is more important, no, it is less important than this laptop. In other words, this laptop is more important than the what? The money that you have. So you have to design a product, or when you're building a product. That's why it's called unbeatable offers. If you follow these strategies, these laws to the T, you will build a business that is unbreakable and unbeatable. So when you're building a product, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, okay, have I removed the hassle in someone's life? But number two, am I providing a product that is going to be perceived as more valuable than the price to which it's supposed to be paid to be paid for? Because if that perception is not right, then you're going to end up with a product that is a flop. Perceived value dictates how much customers are willing to pay for your offer. The more appealing the end result and the less effort required to achieve it, the higher the perceived value. The more appealing the end result and the less effort required to achieve it, the higher the perceived value. That's why fast cars, sport cars are very expensive, because they're telling you are going to move from 0 to 60 kilometers per hour in less than 3 seconds. What? Yeah. How much is this car? $200,000. Boy, oh boy, sign me up. Conversely, if the outcome is less desirable and demands significant effort, the perceived value decreases. If you're selling an amazing product, but it takes a lot of effort, the distance between using the product and getting the result is high, is long, then people are not going to buy it. Because people are going to be like, oh my God, okay, 21, 10, like 12 months before I see the result. Yeah. Then you will end up, you cannot price your product, but you cannot price your product high with a high price if the result is going to be experienced um, after a very long period of time. You have to find a way to sell the benefits and bring them close to the experience, or to the first experience with your product. If you're selling um, houses, cars, services, a startup, you have to show that you, in a very short period of time, you can transform your life. You can transform the lives of your customers. Just like I'm sharing these strategies. If you apply these strategies, you will start seeing results tomorrow. Because if you start evaluating your business from these standards, then you will start seeing results tomorrow. Like that's how efficient they are, because you're going to start thinking of, okay, perceived value, critical. The first one was hassle premium. Hassle premium. Okay, if you start thinking of hassle premium when you're building your business, you're going to start seeing results tomorrow, because you'll be thinking, okay, how can I remove hassles in someone's life? How can I increase the perceived value of the business, which also comes from selling the benefits, not the features. When you focus on selling the benefits of the product more than the features of the product, you will end up with a highly perceived a product with a high perceived value, because what you're doing is you're showing people the benefit. That's why, have you seen how when Nike is advertising, they don't advertise people sweating no, they advertise, they're related to their advert is someone putting like a slam dunk, someone running his last mile. You will see car companies, no one advertises, no one shows us the engine and everything. No, everyone is showing us, like you're seated, your family is in the back, you're driving on the highway. That's what they sell. They sell the benefits. Sell the benefits, not the features. Very important. Critical assumptions. What are critical assumptions? Like I said, these are strategies, rules, and laws. So if you don't take into considerations these concepts, these mental models, by the way, the good thing about these videos that I'm making is that, or the good thing about my content is that I focus on things that, on only things that matter. So everything that you're going to see in these videos is fundamental. They are equally important. What are critical assumptions? These are key facts or conditions that must be hold true for your business to succeed. If every business relies on these assumptions to determine its viability, The better you identify and test them, the lower the risk and the higher the chances of success. Critical assumptions are things you need in place for your business to succeed. If you are running an e-commerce platform, you need internet. That's a critical assumption. You are going to need delivery. You're going to need people with phones. You're going to need electricity. Those are critical assumptions. If you want to start a business, let's say you want to start a let's say you want to start uh let's say you want to start a bar, but you're selling alcohol in a neighborhood, in a Muslim neighborhood. The critical assumptions for you to sell alcohol, it has to be that people drink alcohol. You're not going to sell alcohol in a neighborhood, in a country where people are sober. No, that's not going to work. So you want to position yourself in a position where the critical assumptions are in your favor. So, because if you have internet, if you have delivery, if you have people who have access to phones and they're using, there's a culture already to purchase online, starting an e-commerce in that environment with those critical assumptions, oh my God, it's an instant success. That's also one of the ways, by the way, that's one of the ways investors gauge the best businesses. Because if you want to start, let's say you want to start you know, a private jet leasing company in, in a war zone country, a torn zone in somewhere. Okay, or in a place without airports. It's not going to. You need certain infrastructure to run jet businesses. I'll give you an example. Another example. Let's say you want to start. What is it we can give, let's say you want to set up like a luxury shop for clothing. You want to start a luxury clothing brand, but you very well know that the purchasing power or the culture around is not going to, people cannot afford to buy those luxury products. But if you say, if you want to set one and then you say, okay, you know what, I'm taking this to Dubai, that makes sense because the culture in Dubai is luxury. People value luxury. That's kind of the mindset. So you need and those critical assumptions are not only behavior based or behavior oriented. There is also critical assumption in terms of policies, infrastructure. There are certain businesses that sometimes I see some startups and I'm like, your startup is amazing, but we don't the critical assumptions are against you because there are certain things that you need in order for your business to perform. I think we have covered this. Number four, sorry. Number four is relative importance method. Now, relative importance methods testing is a method for uncovering what people truly value by simulating real life trade offs in their decision making process. Since perfection doesn't exist, people naturally settle for the next best alternative when forced to make a choice. By presenting participants with trade off based questions, you gather more accurate insights into how they would respond in real world. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say a scenario where a startup is developing a project management tool and wants to know which features users value most. This is the test question that you ask them. Would you rather have unlimited storage but only basic automation, or limited storage with advanced automation? This insight is going to help you to know whether automation is more important than storage. The biggest mistake that most founders make, or business owners, entrepreneurs, is to assume. When you assume in business, you miss the mark. You price yourself too low or too high, or you develop features that are not needed, or you don't develop features that are actually needed because you don't know your customer priority. What is the priority of my customer? Very important. I think I think that's one of the amazing question you can ask yourself. What is the priority of my customer? What does my customer want to achieve? For my customers, you're watching this, you are either an aspiring entrepreneur or you are an entrepreneur. What you want is to have a thriving business. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your loved ones, and then scale the business, make money, be rich, solve problems. Now, to do that, that is an end result, by the way. There's something called, in the previous videos I did, there's a rule called the mercenary rule. It states that when you start a business for the sake of making money, that business is going to fail, because the effort that is required to run a business, it cannot be fueled by the desire for money only. You need something more powerful than money, because money is a result. So your job is to ask yourself, what are my customers' top three priorities in this business context, so that I provide that to them. And then it ties in perceived value, it ties in hustle premium. You see how, like, these rules, like, they mingle, they interconnect. It's an interconnected process in the startup growth infrastructure. And when you work with me, so what we do, we go through the process and then we assess, okay, what are the hassles that you're removing in your customer's life. After that, how do we leverage, what are the critical assumptions, how do we increase perceived value of your product, how do you do that, because you have to know how to do that. Now, in this relative importance method, what you want to see is, let's say you're working on an e-commerce product, it's an online clothing brand, you want to optimize its product bundles, and then the test question you're asking yourself, asking the customer, would you rather buy a t-shirt plus free shipping, or would you rather buy a t-shirt 10% off with a shipping that you're going to pay for? Then the insight is going to help you know, are the customers valuing more free shipping over discount? Do they value discount or free shipping? So you have to know. And how do you know? You ask. Just ask people. So what do you think? What do you I remember when I launched the WhatsApp group, the startup growth infrastructure, a friend of mine she came and told me, really, like, I feel like you're posting in the group a lot. And I was like, really? Then I ran a poll in the group, and I said, okay, I want to know, how many times do you guys want me to post in the group? I said, like, once, twice, three times, and every time I'm inspired. You won't believe this. 90% of people, 95 in fact, said anytime I'm inspired. I was going to stop posting at that pace, because I thought, yeah, maybe I should slow down. But people were like, oh no, yeah, we're fine. Poof. Just keep rolling, keep bringing them, keep bringing those content. We love them. So you need to know, what are the priorities of your customers. You need to know what is the most important thing. What are they prioritizing in order to have a a business that is viable, that is profitable, but also people are excited to work with you, because you did not violate the relative importance method or rule. Number five, it's called economic values. So there are 9 economic values that people consider when evaluating a potential purchase. So this is something. Now, the funny thing about this content, by the way, this is an encyclopedia of content. I got content from a lot of books, considered condensed in a book called the Personal MBA, but also in other books as well, because I follow a lot of business owners. But these economic values, the most powerful thing about these things is because they are psychological. This is like business psychology. You have to business, consumer, and market psychology. This is the map of how people think. You're thinking about efficiency, speed, reliability, ease of use, flexibility, status, aesthetic appeal, emotion, and cost. So if you're developing a product that does not provide any of these economic values, that product is not going to work. If you respect the values, then it's going to work. Because you can show me every product that has failed. They have violated most of these economic values, most of them. By the way, a product to succeed, you need at least like 4 or 5. If you can hit like 6, 7, 8, oh my God. That's an amazing business, because people are asking themselves, so how well does it work? How quickly does it work? Oh, you just plug and play. How can I depend on it to do what I want? It's from Samsung. Okay. How much effort does it require? Oh, never mind. You just plug and just play. How many things does it do? Oh, well, first of all, it's a TV. You can plug your laptop into it. It has Netflix. It's connected to the internet. You can cast some images from your phone to the TV. But also, it has an amazing speakers. Has amazing speakers. Oh, nice. Okay. So how does this affect the way others perceive me? Oh my God, I don't mind about it. When people come in your house and they see a Bose sound system, that's amazing. All right. So how attractive or otherwise aesthetically pleasing it is. Look at these designs. Apple products, oh my God. It's status, it's amazing design. They look great, they look crisp, it's sleek, minimalistic, amazing, modern, cutting edge. How does it make me feel? Whew, oh my God. Just wear it. Just wear that watch. Just the thought of just thinking that you're wearing a Rolex or the Marc Piguet Patek Philippe, amazing. All right. So how much do I have to give up to get this? Oh, not that much. Just $20,000. Okay. With what you just described, I think it's worth it. That's how people sell a $10,000 car, and others are selling what? $200,000 car. Because people are willing to pay to be perceived as high status. People are willing to pay for aesthetic. People are willing to pay for experience. There is something, I think I was recently watching a video. It was a guy in the hospitality sector, very well known guy. He was saying how you can bring, you can go somewhere and then just take a glass of, a drink, and then put it, and then, just give it to a customer. That drink can cost, let's say, I don't know, $10, for instance, $10. But if you go to another restaurant and they bring the same drink with a circus of dancers, and before you drink it, before they put it on your table, they dance, they entertain you, they sing for you, and then they just deposit it on your table, and then they serve it. That bottle is going to move from $10 all the way to $150 because of the experience. Because people are willing to pay a hefty amount of money to feel valuable, to feel status, to be perceived as high status, high caliber. That's what people usually pay for, status. So it's very important to, when you're building a business, because there's something called status. When we were discussing about on the startup growth infrastructure, when we were discussing about the needs of a customer, we talked about we talked about the needs, the five core drives of human needs, and just right beside it there is something called status. So it's very important, especially these days where people are constantly posting online and everything. It's very important to know that if you're building a business and you're not focusing on giving people like a feeling of status, then you're missing out on something. Unless you want to be like in the commodity where everyone is, that's fine, but you need to consider something called status. Status is very important. Number six is intermediation and disintermediation. Remember, we are learning how to create businesses. That's what the value creation series is going to focus on that. That's what it's going to focus on. It's going to focus on how do we create businesses. I'm giving you strategies. Now, intermediation and disintermediation is one of the strategies. You can create a business that involves a third party, where you become the third party, or you can build a business that removes the third party. I'll give you an example. So Intermediation is when there is someone. I'll give you a quick example. So Amazon is an e-commerce platform. So it has shops. It has products. Sorry, it has products on it. But they have become the no, I think the right one is actually no Amazon and Alibaba. Alibaba has a lot of shops on the platform. Now, instead of going to those shops, you can go on Alibaba and then shop. So they have removed they have become the intermediary between the shops and them. Okay. Now, disintermediation is when you remove them. So what Amazon did, you don't have shops on Amazon, you have products. So you go on Amazon and then you shop and then you go. Now, there are businesses where, like it says here, so intermediation occurs when a third party facilitates a transaction between a buyer and a seller, ensuring value delivery or transaction complete. Something like real estate. So the real estate agents, they are the it's an intermediation business because they're the intermediaries between the buyers and the sellers. If you have an apartment building, you're not going to run around looking for buyers or for tenants. You just go to a real estate agency, and you tell them, guys, um, we are starting. We've launched these amazing apartments. Help us find the tenants. Okay, that's the intermediation. Disintermediation is when you say you create a mobile application or you create a platform where people can access the houses without the real estate agents, and then you're good to go. So that's how you ask yourself, would your potential customers benefit from more help or less help? Because regardless of the fact that we have platforms where you can find the houses, but that did not cancel the regardless of the fact that we have the platforms where you can access the houses, that did not cancel the fact that we still need real estate agents. They're still there, they work, they make money. So it's always knowing, okay, what is the right context for my business, what is the right thing to do for this specific business, because it's very important. You have, when you're building a business, you ask yourself, okay, do I need intermediation? Because you can create a business and say, okay, this is an amazing business, but why are people not buying from us? Because maybe you need intermediation, you need help, your customers need help, you need to add more help into the business process. There's a reason why big supermarkets, or yesterday I was not yesterday, recently I was checking on an amazing store called Suit Supply. When you go to Suit Supply, there is someone guiding you through the process of, they make amazing menswear. So they guide you into the process of finding the right color, the right style for you, for the right occasion. They guide you into the process of getting the right garment for you, because they have understood that when you walk into that shop, the the amount of choice, the number of choices can be overwhelming. So assess your current business idea against these strategies and laws to identify and close the gaps that you have. Like we said, so this is the startup growth infrastructure, the map. So we were talking about these ones, these strategies and tips, but it also comes together in the startup growth infrastructure, which is a collection of frameworks and mental models to help you build your business. I hope this was valuable, and you were able to get something that you can go ahead and apply in your business. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you.